By every credible measure, women are denied opportunities that are accorded to men as a birthright of their sex. Women face barriers, sometimes tangible, often subliminal, that constrain their lives and their contributions to the development of our world. I've seen firsthand great violence perpetrated against women and children, almost entirely by men, in war zones around the world in the course of my long career as a soldier. I've stood beside the shattered remnants of families, crushed by the crimes committed against them, despairing that they will never be able to live in hope again. And I have come to understand that the terrible things that happen in war zones, murder, rape, assaults, the stripping away of dignity, the absence of hope, they are just as much present in our own civil communities, even our own families. It's just that these terrible things happen behind closed doors, away from the lens of a war correspondent, ignored by neighbours or even family members, unspoken but just as life-shattering. The statistics are grim. In Australia alone, one woman is murdered every week by a current or former partner. 1 in 3 Australian women over the age of 15 have experienced physical or sexual violence at some stage of their lives. Recent reports in Australia show that 1 in 7 boys aged between 12 and 20 believe it's okay to force a girl to have sex if she was flirting. 1 in 3 boys believe that violence against women occurs because the woman provokes it. If Australia is indicative, then these statistics would suggest that the beliefs among males on gender equality around the world is deeply flawed. I've been at the forefront of leading a change in the way we appreciate and value gender diversity and inclusivity in the Australian Army, and I have come to understand just how important culture is in addressing the deep-set and challenging issues that we face. Culture shapes our perspective of who we are, as members of our various nations, as members of a particular profession. It's usually intangible, a sense of identity, a shared but often unspoken alliance with others of our group, and it is founded on the stories we tell each other about ourselves. In the hands of some, these stories become exclusive, not inclusive. They reinforce a view of us and them. In hyper-masculine environments, like armies, them is defined by being physically weaker, not drinking like a man, not bragging of sexual conquest, being more introverted or intellectual, and of course, being female. So among other measures to improve inclusiveness in the Australian Army, I found that openly challenging the stories we tell each other about ourselves is necessary for meaningful change. It takes considerable courage to challenge the deep-seated national and organisational narratives from which many individuals derive their identity. But these narratives often exclude women, and change is impossible without it. But this is not enough. It must be accompanied by action to intervene to prevent violence against women wherever and whenever it occurs, because it is not enough to just abstain from hurting women and to say the right things. It requires men to recognise that the standard you walk past is the standard you accept, and that you are judged not just on your actions, but on how you allow others to act.